you're not from Michigan, or at least the Midwest, you probably can't fully sympathize with us, and you're probably a bit luckier than us when it comes to driving on public roads. Almost every Michigander has heard of the ever so abundant Pure Michigan ads at least some point in time. Now, if you don't know what these Pure Michigan ads are, they're pretty much statewide advertisements published by the state of Michigan to portray the beauty of the state. Ads like these.
As always, Pure Michigan. Big deep breath of Pure Michigan. A little piece of Pure Michigan.
Now, there's one thing that's definitely not shown in these Pure Michigan ads, and that's the ridiculously large moon craters found on every public street, road, and highway. And yes, we call them moon craters because if you were to go on the moon and measure the size of a moon crater, you would be able to size it up with a Michigan pothole. I mean, just look at this. On the main highway, the I-75, there was a pothole so large that you could see right through the bridge.
She hit this massive pothole, or crater as she calls it. Take a good look. It's massive, and from the surface it looks big, but then check this view out from below. A huge open hole causing so much damage.
I mean, imagine going 70 miles per hour and hitting that gaping crater head on. It's not only an expensive repair bill on your car's end, that's a safety hazard. Now, I personally have memorized so many roads that I drive on that I can anticipate exactly where the pothole is going to be as I'm approaching it so I can swerve away from it. And by the way, that's not a result of training and preparation. It's actually a result of the deep mental trauma that me and many Michiganders have endured over the years with these moon craters. Now, I stumbled upon this pothole, I'd say about a few weeks ago, and it's still here. Look how huge this pothole is. That is a moon crater right there. If a small kid were to walk down the sidewalk, slip and fall into this and get seriously injured. Now, this is just one of the many that you'll see out here. It literally looks like a cave, not even a pothole anymore. This crater is located in the right lane of a very busy intersection. Now, we're not even talking about moon craters anymore. This looks like a major underground cave. The city is obviously aware of it because they drove out and put a sign on it. To be quite honest, it seems very lousy on their end to leave a pothole of this size unpatched for several weeks. Take a look at this. You see how the back wheel of this car almost fell into it? It happened to exit the tire shop right behind this and almost got into an accident. Now here's another busy road, and as you can see, it's turned into a pond for the geese to swim in. This one is a one-laner, so there's no dodging of any sorts happening here, unless you go into the opposite lane, which is pointless anyways because they're equally as torn up. So 2 weeks later, we go back to the same spot to check up on that crater. And to no surprise, we find the same crater left alone, unpatched, and the tire shop actually had to take out 2 tires and fill in that hole so nobody ends up falling into it. We took some measurements to really give you an idea how large this crater actually is. It came out to around 30 inches long, 20 inches wide, and over 1 foot deep. Just to kind of entertain the idea of a wheel actually falling into this crater, we took some measurements of the tire itself so we can compare the two. The diameter of the tire turned out to be 27.5 inches. Obviously, that'll fit snugly into that crater. We also took measurements of the diameter of where the wheel would be. Came out to 17.5 inches, which obviously, if a vehicle would actually fall into this crater, the tire would blow out and the rim would actually fall deep into that crater. I honestly don't even believe a tow truck would be able to pull the vehicle out. You'd probably need a crane. We're just going to put everything back and leave this crater in its unfixed state and just pray that nobody ends up falling and actually dying in this hole. Michigan roads have gotten so bad to the point where drivers aren't even driving on roads anymore. They should seriously consider changing the state of Michigan and calling it the state of the moon. And here's the real question. Where's the tax money going, Michigan?